I am very sad for Catelynn and Tyler with what it is that they're going through. They were very young when they signed over the custody of their daughter, right? And they didn't fully understand adoption and open adoption, closed adoption, boundaries, a lot of things, right? However, these messages that I saw are quite alarming. So just to set the scene here, Catelynn was texting with somebody that she believed to be a friend of CARLY's. And her biological daughter, CARLY, is only 16 years old. So essentially, she believed that she was texting with a minor, right? And in my opinion, that already is inappropriate, right? You should not be, as an adult, texting with a random minor, in my opinion anyway, right? That's not something I personally would participate in. And basically, this person who supposedly catfished Catelynn was trying to make her believe that she was friends with CARLY and just that she would make a secret phone call on behalf of CARLY to connect CARLY to Catelynn because the big bad wolves, Brandon and Teresa, are keeping CARLY from Catelynn, like all this sort of a thing. And, it kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit when I'm, setting up this story because it is just so wildly inappropriate, right? And again, I don't want to jump on the pylon against Catelynn and Tyler because although they have made a lot of missteps, right? I don't think they're bad people, right? However, this is a big story. And here on the Morning Report or on the Grace Report, we talk about, big stories. So here goes. I've got access to the text messages that were being sent. Shout out to the Teen Mom Reddit page for hooking this up. Let's start taking a look at some of them. Okay, you guys, again, very, very, very weird stuff, texting with a teenager like this, but I digress. So here's the message. It starts with Catelynn. Catelynn has the gray text bubbles, okay? And the person who catfished her has the purple text bubbles, okay? So, hey, this is Catelynn. Hey, is this blank? It's Catelynn. Catfish says, hi, Catelynn. Thanks for texting me back. So I spoke with another friend of CARLY's and she doesn't have a friend named blank. Yes, my name is blank and I am very good friends with CARLY. I go to school with her. Did you know that she wants to contact you guys and she knows you guys are trying hard and we show her everything? Did you know that her parents are monitoring everything as they are worried and scared? So Catelynn asks, what school then? I know what school, so I just don't know if you're legit. Like, how do I know you're legit? LOL. I go to blank school since kindergarten. I'm in high school now. You don't need to believe me, but I'm being truthful. I live on CARLY's street. Oh, Lord, have mercy. All right. So, okay, first page, listen, it's bad, but it's not terrible yet, right? She just wants to make sure that she's not being catfished. And unfortunately for Kate, that is exactly what was happening to her. I got to be honest, though, you guys, I do think that it's quite unfair that somebody would take Catelynn's grief, right? And then use it to catfish her and then to expose her on the internet. I feel like that's a very mean thing to do. Is it inappropriate to be texting with what you believe is a child associated with your biological child that, you placed for adoption? Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's also really terrible to be tricking somebody like this, right? That's just my opinion. Anyway, so let's get into the second page of text. Once again, this is coming from the Teen Mom Reddit, not the one with all the words. This is the one where it's just Reddit/Teen Mom. And so Catelynn had texted, she's so pretty, in reference to CARLY. Hopefully she'll want to call me tomorrow when you guys are at lunch or something, but whatever she's comfortable with, or even audio messaging back and forth. Or are you Android? I don't know if you can do voice messages or not. Just let her know, like I told you earlier, though, that if she uses your phone to talk to us or whatever she wants, like it'll be between Tyler and I, and that's it. So I think that it's very odd that in the initial message, so let me go back to that. The person was saying that Brandon and Teresa do not want for CARLY to have contact with Catelynn and Tyler, right? And so Kate continues this conversation against the wishes of CARLY's parents. So that already is just so crazy, but your biological child or not, you gave birth to her, that's one thing, but you are not her parent. Her parents do. So just imagine this with like any child, imagine there's like a random child out there. Their parents do not want, them to have contact with you. And so you are trying to go through friends of friends or whatever to get contact with this person behind their parents' back. Like, that is very odd behavior, right? And again, this person's very weird for pulling this catfishing stunt, but Kate is also, in the wrong here with trying to backdoor Brandon and Teresa. So the catfish responds by saying, yes, she's so pretty. She's very kind and loving. So many people like her, and I guess she's popular. Okay, I will tell her and reassure her that it will never be in the media or TV. The friend, she told me that she didn't want to contact you guys. I wonder if she is just scared for it to all to come out and her parents finding out. So Kate responds, I don't know, but we have an email that we set up for her specifically that we've been sending updates to since her parents closed the adoption. So she's more comfortable communicating that way. That's also fine. I just want her to feel no pressure or obligation because this is about her and no one else. But the thing is, she is a child. So like, if it's about her, you have to go through her parents at this point because she is a child. You cannot backdoor the parents of this child here, right? Very, very odd. And so then there are a lot more text messages, by the way, right? So at this point, she's trying to see if the girl is home. Like, she's just trying to get like more information out of this girl to verify that this really is what is going on, right? And that she's not being tricked. And so it makes me feel bad for her because she was really trying, right? But this girl was so good, I guess. And so let's see. Yes, I'm at home now, so not at school anymore, but tomorrow we can we text or call you? And Catelynn asks, do you think that would freak CARLY out? I really want to believe you. I wish there was a way you could prove to me that this is real. And obviously, if it is, then I want to thank you for loving her and being such a great friend to stand up for her and to reach out to me. Like, I feel like you're being truthful, so don't get me wrong, because no other friends have reached out to us to try to help CARLY. Help CARLY from what? Like, who even told you that CARLY needed help? Like, CARLY is living her life. Apparently CARLY is, she's singing in the choir. She's got her little boyfriend, like she's got her friends and whatnot. So what do you mean help CARLY? Like, I found that to be very odd, right? And so the exchange then continues with Catelynn saying, because, with the person responding, I'm being very truthful. CARLY is a good friend. Which friend do you talk to of hers? I go to church with CARLY too. My dad and Brandon work together. Kate says that she can't throw this friend under the bus. I promised her I wouldn't tell anyone she reached out. Okay, CARLY has expressed the only thing she's freaked out about if it gets put on the show or the media that she's contacted you guys and her being in so much trouble. And then Kate responds, but this other friend has told me CARLY doesn't want contact with us. And that's why we decided to stop talking about our adoption publicly. So now I'm confused, LOL, because you're saying that she wants contact with us and is searching my parents' numbers. Oh my God, I would keep that a secret till the day I died. I would never. So which is the truth, right? I kind of feel like, listen, it hurts, right? Like it hurts. It's devastating to be rejected by your, I don't know, do I say your child? Because technically, yes, she's their child, but also technically, no, she is not their child. She's Brandon and Teresa's child, right? So of course, there's a certain level of rejection that Catelynn is feeling here, and it's sad, obviously, but she should have listened to the first friend who already told her that like CARLY does not want contact and just leave it alone. Yes. Set up that email where you send all the photos and maybe you give her the address one day and she can go through them like when she wants to, right? But to be like, backdooring your way into her life through all these like random children or whatever is weird, right? Niam says the parents should get a restraining order at this stage, though I can see from both sides. And that's what I'm worried about for Catelynn and Tyler. Like, I don't think they're bad people. I don't think they're dangerous people, but this behavior is very inappropriate. And I would not be surprised if if Brandon and Teresa ultimately had to go down that route of getting a restraining order. And it's so sad. Somebody else had posted here earlier, like, there's only 2 years left. CARLY is 16 years old. You've made it this far. Like, why did you have to go and torch everything and permanently damage your relationship with them for the final 2 years? Like, you should have just waited those 2 years and then tried to get in contact with her when she is legally an adult and when she can, when you can do this directly or whatever, right? It's so inappropriate. It is so weird. Crazy Dalmatian lady says the weirdest part is her asking for oh yeah, get ready for that, right? She's asking for pictures, the address. Yeah, it gets worse, you guys. Dreadful Ruby says, listen, I have a cat phobia, right? But I will say that this cat's cute. I like its little half and half face. Like, that is so cute. This cat is cute. It would scare me if I saw it in real life, but it's cute. So Ruby says, I really don't feel bad for her here. This is wrong on so many levels. And I agree. It's really, really inappropriate. This is not cool. It's not cool. Tyrell says, this sounds very sus. CARLY, if scared, but wants to see Catelynn and Tyler, she can get help. She's older. She has access to resources. Yeah, Little's contact local public health for referrals to help from abuse, neglect, period. Jay says, Raven, for real. And she admits she knows CARLY doesn't want contact. Exactly. She knew CARLY did not want contact. And yet you're still trying to, find these like different ways to get in contact with a child that does not, want contact with you at this point, right? It's, oh God, it's sad. It is. What else? Okay, so we had just finished reading this part where Kate swore herself to secrecy. She says, I will never expose you or CARLY or anything about these conversations that we're going to have with CARLY, right? And then here's some more messages. We're just finishing track is what the liar says. Okay, also, can you ask her what gift Tyler gave her at our last visit? Unless CARLY doesn't want anyone to know her middle name, right? Because it's definitely different, but ask her what her real middle name is. I asked and she gave me a look. I said blank and she continued talking to her coach. Kate says, ugh. And then she also says, oh, okay, but that's why maybe if you told her I was asking you what her middle name was. And this person says, no, I just asked what her middle name was because people are around. I asked like I was wondering a question. Yes, I can when there are not people around. Okay, maybe you can get her by herself and tell her I'm asking. So now you're asking this random child to go isolate another random child for personal information about her. Would it be weird for you to send me a selfie? Now you're asking a child. You're asking a 16-year-old girl for a selfie. Not with CARLY, but you yourself. Catelynn, oh my God. I've been trying so hard to defend her and Tyler all this time. I really, really have been. All right. But there's no planet on which it's appropriate or defensible, right? For a 30-something-year-old woman to be asking what she thinks is a high school aged 16-year-old child for a selfie. That is just, wow, really spooky behavior. You're already talking to this girl like, oh, I'm going to keep all your secrets. Your secrets are safe with me. I'll take all this stuff to the grave. Send me a pic. That's not a good look at all. Obviously, this is not something like she is creeping on the child. She's interested in children or anything like that. No, but it is just really, really incredibly inappropriate, right? Just as these texts are giving stalker vibes, and they are, right? This is unhinged. It is. This is scary. Jay says she just showed Brandon and Teresa what they do behind their back, right? And that's the big thing here, right? Like, how do you think Brandon and Teresa are going to want to have any kind of relationship with you or want to mend fences with you when you've shown that you do not give a crap about their position or their authority as CARLY's parents? You think that, you're the real parents and you could do whatever you want, to the point where you're running around swearing teenagers to secrecy and asking them for selfies and asking them to isolate their daughter and ask her all these personal questions, so it seems as though she knows that maybe, CARLY is a little bit embarrassed or whatever, ashamed of her middle name. you want like this, you know what I mean? Like, it's so weird, right, Venetia? It's so weird. GG, what a beautiful sunset, golden hour. Can she get charged for this? If this happened to my child, I would lose it. And I wonder, right? Because again, I don't think she's grooming this child. I don't think she has an interest in children. You know what I mean? She's not a PDF file or anything like that. So what is this? What is it? It's what, like, it's such a weird, I don't know. It's such a good question, right? It is so weird. You know what, JG, why don't I write this down somewhere? Hang on. I'm going to pull up my phone. By the way, you guys, I got a new phone. And look at this case for my phone. Isn't it cute? Anyway, let me write this down. You know how I have my lawyer friend on YouTube? What is his name? Dmitry Shakhnovich. I'm going to ask Dmitry if Catelynn can face legal consequences for those inappropriate texts about CARLY. So, because I do think that is a very good question, right? Like this is very weird what is happening here. And so I do wonder, we already know this is not like, romantically or whatever motivated, right? Like this is just her being obsessive, right? Katie says, I wonder if Tyler knew about this. I feel like between the two of them, there should have been some better judgment, right? I imagine that he did know about it. And I imagine that this is something he would do too. In fact, he's probably counting his lucky stars that even though they don't have that much sense between the two of them, at least they had enough sense for Catelynn to be the one sending these messages. Imagine if it was Tyler sending these messages. Now that would be an even, and it's sexism, right? Because these messages are the same either way. But because it's Catelynn, there's like this softerness to it or whatever. It's a little bit softer. But if it were a man asking the girl for all this stuff, it would be a whole different ballgame, right? Completely different ballgame. PR, she says this is giving to catch a predator. Oh my God. And GG, wow, Barbados, what a beautiful island. Oh my God, love it. You guys are looking so beautiful in that beautiful sunset. Now let's see where this continues on, because like I said, y'all, there are more messages here. We've got quite a few more messages. So Catelynn says, I just want her to feel no pressure or obligation because this is about her and no one else. What time is your lunch? So essentially she wants for this girl to get CARLY on the phone with her during their lunch break. Like, I'm praying that I get to hear her voice tomorrow because I know her voice. And the liar says, I wish I could call or text her since after school that you got in touch. She will be shocked. Our dining hours. And so now look, this supposed child is giving Catelynn, the adult, all this information about, where these children are accessible in the school, right? Like the dining hours and whatnot. Like that is so creepy, guys. Please have these like parental locks on your children's phones so you could read their messages from the comfort of your own phone, because look at the weirdos that are messaging children, asking for these details about their day, right? The only struggle is if her mom comes around at her meal times, as sometimes she will come and sit with us. So you would think, oh, it's nice. Look how involved CARLY's mother is, right? Like she is so loved. The mom is taking time out of her afternoon to come have some lunch with her daughter, and her friends. Like she's really involved in CARLY's education. Like just, it seems so loving, right? And it seems so positive. You would think, right? Because then Catelyn's pissed. She's like, oh, how dare this woman come in between me and my child? I'm trying to get this child alone. And here she is coming to visit her at lunch. Yuck. Look at her response. She sits with you at lunch? That's gotta get annoying after a while, I'm sure. But maybe if you can go to a bathroom. So now you're telling these little girls, you already asked her for a selfie. Now you're telling her, go to the bathroom and bring your phone with you. What are your dining hours? Go to the bathroom, bring your phone with you. Like, what is this? What is this? Oh my God, right? I don't know. I don't want any of you girls to feel any pressure though. I'm sorry. This is grooming language. I don't think that Catelynn is a groomer. I don't think she was going to do anything dangerous to these children, right? But this is the way that groomers speak to children. I just want you to feel safe and comfortable. Like, I'm such a good person. Meanwhile, they are crossing every boundary in the book. I feel really bad that her parents won't allow her to have certain freedoms that I believe she deserves. She's a good kid. What do you mean certain freedoms that she deserves? What do you know about this child? She's a good kid. You don't know this girl. You don't know about her freedoms. Like, she is not locked up under an attic, like, Harry Potter or something like that, under the staircase. Like, her mom is so involved in her school life. That is such a beautiful thing to me, right? And you're making it into such an ugly thing. You're trying to make it look like the mom is so controlling. She doesn't let her breathe, this or that. Meanwhile, you're the one running through all of these teenagers to try and get contact with a child that already told you, as you admitted in some messages a little bit earlier on, trying to get in contact with a child that told you she doesn't want to get in contact with you. And you're saying that her actual mom that she loves being in contact with, that like she has in her day-to-day life, her mom showing up to school to make sure everything's okay, just to continue seeing her and all this stuff, like she's overbearing, she's stifling CARLY's freedom. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my God, like the audacity. This is insane, right? It's like JG says, she put the nail in the coffin. And I agree. This is just so weird. Like Zebra says, this is clear manipulation of a minor, terrifying behavior. 1000%. This is not normal. And then the Catfish then messaged Kate the next day at 6:50 in the morning. Good morning. I told CARLY and showed her all of our messages. We were off to class. She is happy it worked, getting in touch, but she's very nervous and so scared to get caught. Like, what is this? Oh my God, I'm laughing because I'm so uncomfortable. Like, my body is squirming. Like, what the hell am I witnessing here? A grown woman in her, early 30s, mid 30s or whatever, mid 30s, I think almost, messaging like this with children is crazy. Yeah, I feel like our last visit, we got to be alone more than ever before. And that was so special. Like, this is so crazy. Like, what business is this of the teenagers, right? What business is it of this random high school friend of CARLY's? How much alone time you got to spend with CARLY and all this stuff? Like, this is just, oh, I'm so mad at Kate because I have been defending her and Tyler so hard all year. And this is what they do to me. They have me out here looking stupid. Like, truly stupid. Like, why would you, like, on what planet would you think it was appropriate in any level, in any capacity, to be sending this kind of message to a child, right? Jacqueline says, I think this is an extreme, you know, your name is very rich, Jacqueline. This is giving money. Jacqueline Woodard. I think this is an extremely devastating situation. As we keep saying, they need therapy. They clearly should have never went the route of adoption. And I agree. This stuff has just messed with them on a level that I don't even know what to say. Right. And it's a good question, Jesse. What's going to be the new excuse, right? Is it going to be that Brandon and Teresa brainwashed her so hard, and that's why even as an adult, when she can make her own choices, she still, potentially doesn't want to be in contact with them? Kathy says, I definitely think asking for pictures and things, could be a way to call them out that she isn't convinced they're a friend of CARLY. Yeah, I think that that's the case, but at the same time, she has to remember she's talking to a minor. This is a minor that she's asking for selfies. This is a minor that she's asking to go to the school bathroom, to bring her phone with her, to make calls and this and that with her and CARLY, and just another minor that she's trying to isolate. Like, it's just, oh my God, if she's trying to make a positive thing of CARLY's mom, Teresa, being so involved in her school life, into a negative, right? She's trying to turn CARLY against her mom and saying that that's stifling CARLY's freedom. The fact that her mom loves her enough to come to school and have lunch with her and wants to spend all the time in the world with her. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Hi, Caroline. Nice to see you. And East Awesome. We were wondering where you were too. Sorry, I've been at MIA. I've been going through panel interviews to get a promotion to a new senior project manager role at work. I got it on Friday. The start date is June 16th. Hang on. We got an applause for you. You've been working hard at this for a while, so I'm so proud of you. Yes, your hard work has paid off. Absolutely incredible. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. You must be so excited. And yes, thank you, Deja. If you guys are enjoying today's episode of the Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. We go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the day's hottest stories. H. Crescenzo says, in reality TV with Ray and that other TikTok created with long pick dyed hair, these texts are solid proof that CARLY doesn't want to stay away. LOL. Imagine being that stuck on what a catfish says. It's a catfish. It's a catfish. And no, Niam, it's an adult who decided to go ahead and troll her. The weird thing is that she was speaking to somebody that she thought was a child this way, right? Like, oh. So now we're at the last of her messages. Thank God, because listen, I am cringing my way out of my skin at this point, y'all. I am. And by the way, some of you guys have been mentioning a video of Ashley. I managed to download it, so we'll definitely be talking about that as well, okay? So yeah, this message, she's telling the friend, oh, look, we got so much alone time with CARLY. That's so special. Okay, question. What's the name of her street? Now you're asking for the name of a child's street. We know that. And if you know her, you would know this as well. But here's the thing. There's no way for the other person to know that Catelynn and Tyler know that. Maybe they don't. Remember, Catelynn and Tyler didn't even know CARLY's last name for a while. Like Brendan and Teresa, they've been putting boundaries in place here. So I'm not sure that Catelynn and Tyler really do know their address. And if they do know Brendan and Teresa's address, I'm sorry, Brendan and Teresa, y'all better start the car, get the movers, enter into witness protection, something. You need to get the hell out of Dodge because that is terrifying. Now, these people who think it's absolutely appropriate to be messaging minors like this have your address. Do y'all think that Catelynn was bluffing when she said that she knows CARLY's address? Because I low-key think she was. Again, Brandon and Teresa did not want to give Catelynn and Tyler their last name or CARLY's last name, right? Absolutely insane. So, oh my God. Again, listen, y'all, last set of messages. Thank God, thank God, thank God. I can't do this anymore. What's your address? So this person gives the address. I live on the same street. What about the house number? Catelynn, please, Jesus. This is so, I truly do not even have the words for it. What about the house number? And so she liked the message. And this person says her address is this and I am this. So now here you are collecting the address of not one, but two minors. I wish you could believe me. And Catelynn responds to this child, I know, honey. I'm sorry, but this is my daughter. This ain't your daughter. This ain't your, that is the problem. You think this is your daughter, but this is not your daughter. This is Brandon and Teresa's daughter. What are you talking about? And I have to guarantee that she's safe. I hope you understand. What's your last name? Now you want this to, oh my goodness gracious. You know what? That question you asked Sunset in Barbados earlier about whether or not this is legal, if there's any kind of criminal, aspect to what is happening here. I'm truly curious about that now because this is absolutely insane, right? What's the child's address? What's your address? What's your last name? What? Oh my God, this is insane. And so the person asks, do I have to give you my last name? Kate says, no, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just a mom that's concerned. Concerned about what? And how would the access to this child's last name ease your concerns? And what are you talking about? It's my daughter and I got to guarantee she's safe. What reason do you have to believe that this child is not safe? Right? She's been adopted by very loving, very, what appears to be, right, stable parents. The mother is extremely involved, with her school, her education and everything. And you, all the way from wherever the hell you're at, and I don't even think you're even half as involved with your children. No offense. We'll take it there, though. We'll take it there. But, and you're over here worried about how safe CARLY is. Weren't you and Tyler still letting April and Butch and Tyler's sister, all three of these people are crackheads, letting these people watch your children, but you're worried about if CARLY's safe? I'm sorry, but the audacity, the pure, raw audacity that you have to have in that situation to be claiming that you were worried for that child's safety when your children are being watched by freaking crackheads is insane. That is insane. James says, maybe Kate is low-key jealous of CARLY. How dare you succeed and be happy without me? And I think that maybe that's it, right? Sometimes, unfortunately, there are cases of parents being jealous of their own children, right? And so it's just, oof. Maybe it's looking like that, right? And Grey Panda is asking if I watched the episode. Their body language is off. Yeah, I did watch the episode, and it is true. As soon as Dr. Drew told them that, CARLY's happy, she's thriving, she says she's doing okay, they look sad and upset, and Kate starts crying, and you're like, why? Like, isn't that a good thing that your daughter's happy and she's thriving and she's loved? Isn't that what you wanted? That's crazy, right? Bailey says, no, I'm sorry, this is so inappropriate. Catelynn has zero excuse for this ish. And I agree. If they're that concerned, ask for a welfare check, right? Oh my God, this is just so like unhinged, right? And yeah, don't forget, like Acacia says, April was drunk one time when she was supposed to be watching these children. And you mean to tell me you're concerned about CARLY? Please. I feel like they're still managing to create trauma for her, yup, when that's the one thing they didn't want to do. Even though it's different, it's still trauma. And I agree. This is sad and this is scary. BR says, is this considered online stalking? It should be. It genuinely should be. Y'all, I'm so mad at these two. They got me looking crazy. Did you guys see how much I stood up for them? And I really did. And then they have me looking stupid.